Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a vlog at DragonCon, which is an event here in Atlanta that happens during Labor Day weekend. The best way to describe it is to say it's sort of like Mardi Gras and Halloween, like had a baby, but it's really hard to describe, so you're just gonna have to watch the video and find out more. So our day started and ended on the MARTA because we didn't want to drive in every day, and we also didn't want to get a hotel or anything because honestly the traffic is nuts, and so it's better just to take the MARTA and not have to think about it. So the first day I wore my Hufflepuff dress because I don't really get to wear this out very much. Whenever there's an occasion, I take it. So even though it was the first day and we were just in line to get badges, there were already people in their cosplays and stuff, all dressed out to the nines. Like this guy here, who's dressed up as some kind of crossover between Zoidberg from Futurama and Deadmau5. I love seeing the creative crossovers and creative costumes people come up with. Like, I would never think to do a crossover between these two things, and it's so cool. So for lunch, we went to our favorite place called Farmer's Basket. As you will see in this video, we go here a lot. It's our favorite place. So while we ate, we found this spot where it was like a farmer's market or something. So it had live music and it was really cool. And then in one of the hotels there, the Marriott, they have a little spot where a lot of people that have like working droids and other robots from movies and TV shows will go and show them off. Like here's one that has a Wall-E, some BB-8s, an R2-D2, and a few others I don't recognize. So it's just the first day, as I mentioned, and so it's not that crowded. I know it looks kind of crowded, but trust me, it gets so much more crazy later on. So one of the hotels, the Hilton, has a theme every year, and this year's theme was the Batman. So all their decorations tied into the movie and everything. And they also had this thing called the Iceberg Lounge. It was on the top floor. That was supposed to be like an exclusive bar experience or something. They were originally charging $120 something or something like that per person, and it did not go over well, as you can imagine. And so they took the price down more and more and more until finally I think it was free for some people and $10 for some other people. It did not go well. I saw someone take some pictures while they're in there. It was completely empty. It was completely dead. No one actually went because most parties and stuff here at DragonCon are free. So the fact they actually not only charged, but charged like $100 and something for something that wasn't that special, just did not rub people the right way. So it did not go well. So this is later in the evening. It got more crowded like I said it would. So this is the part of the night where people are starting to hang out with friends and everything because most of the panels have ended. I have just gotten back from a mixer I went to for a local club that I'm a member of called the Lady Geeks of Atlanta. I got to meet a whole bunch of new people. It was really fun. I'm really glad I went because I'm so shy and introverted that I normally don't go to these things. So I fought my introverted tendencies and put myself out there, and I'm really glad I did. I met some really cool people. And as I mentioned, I don't ever get to wear this Hufflepuff dress, so I wanted to show it off some more, and I had made my husband take some photos of me at the Mandalorian Mercs booth because they had this cool like photo setup thing. So that's the end of day one. So day two starts just about the same as day one. Starts on the MARTA. And then we went to Farmer's Basket again for lunch. So this was my first celebrity panel. Usually the lines are super long for these, and I don't usually think it's super worth it, but this is the guy that plays Guillermo on What We Do in the Shadows, which is my absolute favorite show right now. So I decided it was well worth the wait, and it was. I'm very glad I went. It was so cool hearing him talk about behind the scenes stuff and learning some other things about the show, learning more about the costumes and stuff, and how some of the things were improvised. Like I didn't know that, so that was really cool to know. And he also talked about some upcoming projects and other things. It was really cool. I'm glad I went. Also, because the line was so long and took a while, I got to know the people in line next to me pretty well, and it was really fun hanging out and meeting new people as well. Because if they're in the line with you, then that means they're also very interested in like the same thing, obviously. So you just automatically know you at least have one thing in common with that person, which really makes it great for like breaking the ice and start talking to new people. So on the way to my next panel, I saw this group of women that were taking photos and doing stuff that were dressed as Persephone from Lore Olympus, and I had to stop and get a quick video. So if this hotel looks familiar to you, it's because this location gets used a lot for TV and movies. Like, I know it was the TVA from the Loki show, and I know it's been used in Hunger Games and Spider-Man a good bit. So if it looks familiar, that's why. So here's my next panel. It was about the show The Gilded Age. It was another show I really, really love. I binged watched it all with my mom back when I was in Alabama. And so it was really cool to be in a panel with a bunch of other women who were also obsessed with it, and just getting to talk with all of them about things we liked, things we didn't like, and things we hope to see in the next season. It was really fun. I had to go through the Hilton to go meet my husband after the panel, and to go hang out with some friends that I hadn't seen since college, and stop by, take a video of some really cool cosplays and stuff. So I thought this was like a prop or something, but no, there's a person in there. I saw them come out later on. So we went and got lunch with our friend from college. Someone switched out the light bulb in front of their door with this disco light, and I just thought it was so funny that I needed to put it in the video. So while my husband and I stepped outside to get some fresh air, we happened across a Star Wars photo shoot going on over there on the steps behind me. You can kind of see all the lightsabers. So this is my outfit for that day, which is a Hellfire Club shirt. I cut it a little shorter just because of it was super long, and I think it turned out pretty good. One of the fun things about DragonCon is meeting new people in line. We met this friend group in line for our last panel of the day, and we got to hanging out with them, and it was a lot of fun, and it really made the long wait fun. So that's one of the things about DragonCon is it's just the fun experiences you have in between the events and panels. And this line was for our favorite thing of the entire con, which was the Pirate Improv. It sounds ridiculous, and it was so much fun. So this is the only day that doesn't start on the MARTA. We actually start at Taco Bell instead because we didn't want to go in super early and be really tired, because we knew we were going to be staying a little later today than usual because Saturday is the big con day. It's the day when most people go. So we knew we were going to be seeing friends and hanging out and doing all sorts of stuff. So we wanted to have plenty of energy and get started a little later. And I wore this shirt that says The Mummy, more like the daddy, because who doesn't love Brendan Fraser in that movie? I mean, really. So the first thing we did when we got there was get in line for the vendor mall, which has millions of vendors selling all sorts of stuff. I think it's 3 floors, maybe 4 floors of vendors and artists. And this is by far the longest vendor line I've ever been in. We were next in line with this guy dressed as Loki. He was in head to toe leather, and poor guy looked like he was sweating literal buckets. There is a vendor there that sells lightsabers that you can actually use to have fights with. So my husband usually gets a special edition dice for DragonCon at the Chessex booth, but they were sold out even though we were there just the second day the vendor mall was open. So we wanted to go hang out with some friends again, and on their way to their room, we saw these people having a photo shoot for their cosplays from Cowboy Bebop. It looked like a pretty serious photo shoot with all those lights and everything set up. And then here we are on the floor. This is the most crowded day. Even though it's kind of early in the day, it's already kind of crowded. So while we were there, it was someone who worked for the hotel or for the con, I don't remember. It was their birthday, so the DJ had everyone sing her happy birthday. So this is what I think of when I think of DragonCon. Very crowded. Now keep in mind, this is with all the precautions for COVID where they capped attendance and everything, because this is not that crowded comparatively. So my husband brought a mayonnaise container of cream cheese pudding with some rum chata in it and maybe some Everclear or something. Either way, you couldn't taste what really was in it. And it was so that it would look like it was mayonnaise, and so it would freak out people that would see him eating it. It was so funny. And it was really a hit too, because everyone wanted to try it and everyone had an opinion and a reaction to it looking like they were eating mayonnaise. It was so fun. So there are several big parties that happen at DragonCon, and most of them have themes to them. This one is the last party on Alderaan, so it has like a Star Wars theme. There's another one that happened a few days earlier, which was called the Bunny Hutch Party, which is where people kind of dress up as cosplays and then relate them to Playboy bunnies and Hugh Hefner. So like I saw a Cinderella Playboy bunny and a Prince Charming Hugh Hefner. The theme parties really give people like a chance to be creative with their costumes and outfits, and it's so much fun. So the last day, and like all the others before it, it starts at the MARTA. This is my outfit for the day, which was just the same biker shorts I've worn every day and a Marvel crop top. The first panel we went to was for about the Cult of the Ribbons, or the Loyal Order of the Ribbons, which it is a whole nother video to get into on all the cults and everything that's at DragonCon. But this is the one that I was interested in and I wanted to learn how to join and everything, so I went to their panel. Then after that panel, we went and got pizza. So this is probably the first con we've gone to where we didn't eat Farmer's Basket every single meal, because that's our favorite place to go to during the con, and we can really only go to Farmer's Basket when we're like at DragonCon. So my next panel is Historically Speaking, Women Who Beat the Status Quo, which is just an interesting panel that had a bunch of professionals on it talking about different women in history that just beat the odds, and it was fascinating. I took down a lot of notes and wrote down names of historic women I've never heard of before that I wanted to look up and research and learn more about. So I forgot to mention earlier in the panel for the Gilded Age, most of the panelists were historians and professionals, and so it was also cool to just have that kind of context along with the show. So after that panel, we went and hung out with some old friends. My husband's part of a costume club for Star Wars called the Mandalorian Mercs, and so we went and go hang out with a bunch of the members. So the last thing we did during the con was go to a panel called Boinking Beasties, which is about what it sounds like. It's about beasties boinking. I don't really have no idea how to describe this panel to you. It was a lot of fun. It did not take itself seriously, obviously. So it was about the rise of popularity of a subgenre in romance novels, where instead of two human characters, there's one human and one monster. I got some video of some of the slides of some of the example books they were talking about in the panel, just to try and give you an idea of what this panel was about. Because no matter what I say, I feel like I'm not doing this panel justice. All the examples that I got were the dinosaur books, but they had a bunch of other ones like Sasquatch and Mothman and other ones as well. So that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and comment. If you want to see more like it, please hit that subscribe button. And pretty soon I'm going to be launching my Etsy shop, Mini Meg Shop, where I'll be selling posters and other things with my miniature photos. And if you would like to buy one, please go down to the link below, click on it, and then favorite the shop so you'll know when everything's available. Bye!